Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're counting down our picks for the Antiques Roadshow items with disturbing or tragic backstories.
What's a feminine person like you doing with a big, heavy, aggressive thing like this?
Be sure to stick around for number one, because it is particularly distressing.
It is a very horrifying thing, and as you say, it's because it's directed at children and it's about indoctrinating children.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 7. Rare Fiver. When poet Benjamin Zephaniah was once asked what his hobby was, he jokingly said, collecting money. That joke soon turned into a real-life passion, and he brought his impressive collection onto the show.
People started sending me banknotes.
Really?
I started kind of collecting. That's exactly how it started.
Among the historic banknotes he had accrued was this fascinating white £5 note.
Do you know much about this one?
It's called a burnout or something like that.
Absolutely. See, you do know your stuff. You're a collector.
He was aware that it was indeed rare, but expert Will Farmer told the audience of its shady history. Apparently, in order to negatively impact the British economy, the Nazis would put these fake fivers into circulation.
To basically try and destabilise the economy.
Even more disturbingly, it was prisoners of war who were forced to produce them. This stunning backstory meant that these fivers got a valuation of around £150.
And they are, a bit of propaganda almost, but something very telling.
Number 6. The Postcard. The Antiques Roadshow is often host to World War II items that teach us more about Britain's most trying time. But rarely are we shown pieces that tell of the difficulties children had to face in the crisis. Here, Bill Harriman was shown a number of letters and postcards from this time, which told us of a 9-year-old girl, Audrey.
Dear Mummy and Daddy, I'm somewhere in England and having a good time. We have lovely playing fields with all sorts of things. Give my love to Nanny and Panky. Don't worry. Love from Audrey.
One that really caught his attention was regarding an evacuation boat to Canada, which she was placed on. The boat was tragically torpedoed and sank, taking Audrey's life in the process. A postcard recovered from the disaster tells of the young girl's optimism during her days as an evacuee, and how she made friends but missed her family dearly.
And the bottom is just crosses. Oh, God. That is just so truly heart-wrenching that I don't think I've seen anything like it before.
As he read the contents of the letter, Bill was overcome with emotion.
This little girl hasn't got a grave, but in you she has a very great advocate.
Number 5. Mountaineer Kid.
I was completely surrounded by hikers on their way to the Peak District. None of them had any kit that looked like this, though.
Climbing Everest is not recommended to explorers even in the modern day, so you can only imagine how dangerous it was for those brave adventurers back in the 1920s. When the grandson of Theodore Howard Somervell, one of the aforementioned explorers, came onto the show with some of his belongings, expert Fuchsia Vorenberg was stunned, but came equipped with some knowledge about his escapades from the 1922 and 1924 trips.
I picked them up earlier and they've got a bit of weight to them. I'm not sure if I could climb up the stairs wearing those, let alone a mountain.
What we soon learned, though, was that these mountaineering expeditions were ones that faced tragedy. The 1922 expedition lost 7 men when they died in an avalanche. Looking at the photo brought in by the guests is also gut-wrenching, with the knowledge that a number of them had also perished.
On the 1924 expedition, Mallory and Irving disappeared near the summit, and it's still unknown whether they actually reached the top of the mountain before they died or not.
This was not the feel-good story we were expecting, but the collection did get a shockingly high valuation of £70,000.
Does that change the way you feel about these items?
Amazing. I've always known he was amazing.
Number 4. Terrifying Weapon.
I actually can't believe what I'm looking at. This is absolutely superb. It's a Fijian bully, and this is a thing of rare beauty.
When these two young ladies brought this intricately sculpted stick onto the show, expert Ronnie Archer Morgan was enamoured by it.
The chip carving goes all the way down the shaft. I've only ever seen them with plain shafts.
He spoke highly of the condition it was in and how beautifully crafted it was. What wasn't quite so beautiful was the way he described its use. According to Morgan, this stick would be used to, quote, cave in the skulls of victims.
Actually, they have often found people's skulls on these islands in Fiji and Tonga and places like that, and the skulls are caved in. And it's not surprising, is it?
Lovely. With this lovely thought in mind, this weapon with potentially Fijian or Tongan origins was valued at a whopping £35,000. Not bad for something with such a gruesome purpose.
Wow,
I really think it could make that. It is the best I've ever seen.
Number 3, Anniversary Medal.
It's something that he does on a yearly basis, as far as I can work out, where he is taking probably back old soldiers.
We've seen many medals on Antiques Roadshow with stunning histories, and this one is no different. Expert Mark Smith was presented with this curious medallion and tasked with discovering its origin. It was in fact given to those who survived the horrific reality of Holocaust concentration camps.
This is in Belgium, and it is a place called Briendonk. It's just outside Brussels. And like all other concentration camps, it's just as horrible.
Yeah.
It had 2 gas chambers. It had firing posts to execute people.
Though its purpose is one of triumph, it's still a reminder of what these survivors went through.
If the triangle is yellow, you're Jewish.
Okay.
If it's black, you're a political prisoner. If it's pink, it's a homosexual. It's a terrible regime.
Respectfully, Mark refused to put a valuation on the item, but honestly, we'd say it's priceless.
There is no price you can put on what someone went through to be awarded that medal.
Number 2, Strange Doll.
I must admit that this is the most interesting and unusual doll I've seen on my 36 years of the Roadshow.
Lots of Antique Roadshow fans went to social media to label this doll as haunted or disturbing, but as it turns out, the item is actually much more tragic than it originally looks. According to the expert, it's not even a doll at all, as made evident by its wax structure. Instead, this is an effigy made following the tragic death of the Duke of Buckingham's 3-year-old son.
It was a sort of belief, I think, that they could be in touch with our ancestors through these effigies.
This was actually a common practice amongst aristocrats and the monarchy during this period. Surprisingly, this piece is actually highly sought after, as evidenced by its jaw-dropping valuation of around £20,000.
Put something like 10 to 20,000 on it.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Number 1, Disturbing Board Game.
Of all the things I've seen today, I think this, for me, is the most chilling, because it's a children's game, but it's teaching children to hate.
Another World War II item, but this time it's one that many viewers were disgusted at. This vile board game, called Jews Out, was created by the Nazis during the Holocaust. In it, anti-Semitic caricatures occupy certain places on the board, and the children playing would have had to round them up into one spot to win the game.
The cones actually then sit on top of the hats of the policemen and are brought back to what's called the collection point, or the Sammelplatz.
It's an eye-opening piece of history at just how little the Nazis valued human life and how widespread and normalised the ideas of anti-Semitism really were at the time.
Was it popular?
I believe it was very popular. It was a commercial success, although now it's a great rarity.
The historian said it best when he told the audience that these were kept intact as a stern reminder of how dreadful the Holocaust was.
Some people nowadays try to deny that the Holocaust ever happened, and the whole purpose of our collection is to make sure that those suggestions will always fail, because we have the evidence in front of us.
Which Antiques Roadshow item emotionally affected you? Let us know in the comments below.
I'm getting emotional. You said that so beautifully, but it's true.